Hi, it's Joseph Steinberg, advisor to Simply Learn. Today, as we enter 2017, I wanted to talk to you about 5 important concepts that will play a big role, a really big role, in 2017's information security landscape. The first is advanced persistent threats. By advanced persistent threat, we mean something that combines 3 important concepts. They're advanced. Advanced means a party that has the resources to execute a sophisticated cyber attack. So we mean a party that has money as well as technical knowledge. This will typically be a nation state or organized crime or some sort of other well-funded entity that also has access to good engineering. By persistent, we mean a party that intends to harm another particular party, not gain opportunistically. And what that means is the following. If you think about hackers that are trying to steal credit cards, for example, if they target store number 1 online and they don't get in, and they keep trying different attacks and don't get in, they may move on to store number 2 because it's not worth their time to keep trying store number 1. That store is obviously well protected. Maybe store number 2 is not protected as well. All they care about is getting stolen credit card numbers. Persistent attackers are totally different. They want to target a specific party. So imagine that store number 1 is the target. They don't care if they get the credit card numbers. They just want to take out store number 1. So that attacker is going to be persistent. Keep going until they achieve what they need to. And by threat, we mean a party that's going to act on this. So a financial institution, for example, may have very, very good information security resources. They may be annoyed with a party that's been cyber attacking them, but they're not really a threat back because the law may say that they can't attack back. They can only defend. So they may be advanced and perhaps have the capability to be persistent, but they're not going to. So a party that's advanced, persistent, and poses a threat is an actor that really can do a lot of damage to a business or an organization, and it's something that will play a big role in 2017. We saw the APT actors act in all sorts of ways in the past, but with the DNC hack and people talking about the fact that the US election may have been manipulated to some extent, or there were attempts at least to manipulate people's minds by nation states, we can be sure we're going to see other behavior like this in the future. Number 2, what is the second concept I want to talk about today? It's ransomware. Why ransomware? Because that's malware that is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. What ransomware does is demand payment, or criminal demands payment in order to clean up the ransomware, the malware, and give you back data that they have either locked or removed from your machine. So early ransomware simply encrypted files and demanded, let's say, $200 in Bitcoin to decrypt them. More advanced ransomware today may actually move some of the files or portions of the files off of your machine. Historically, ransomware ransoms, once paid, did get people their material back. We're starting to see some criminals not necessarily honoring their commitments, which could change the whole ransomware market if people don't believe that they're going to get their stuff back anyway. But right now, the vast majority of criminals do restore it, and that's created an interesting scenario because on some ransomware attacks, especially the kinds we saw last year targeting businesses and hospitals, it's often cheaper for the business to pay the ransom than to use their own resources to recover from it. Whether it's because of money, for example, lost revenue if a system is down and they can't operate the business, or life and legal consequences as well in the case of a hospital. If they make a mistake or anything, it could lead to terrible situations. And even if the patients do survive or don't suffer from it, the risk that they're taking could get them into a lot of legal hot water. So these are reasons that people are paying the ransoms, which of course is incenting criminals to produce more ransomware and deploy it. A third very important area to think about is the Internet of Things. There are now so many connected devices, and I'm not referring to computers, of course, when we talk about Internet of Things. I'm talking about smart devices, so wearables, smart cars, smart appliances, anything that's not a classic computer or mobile device, but is connected to the Internet. And they pose all sorts of security risks. We already saw this year a massive denial of service that occurred on the Internet when hackers took over IoT cameras that weren't well protected and used them as an army of zombie devices to create all sorts of denial of service problems by attacking a DNS provider. The details of that attack are beyond this conversation, but the point is that Internet of Things devices are often not well protected. Sometimes they don't even have the capability to be well protected, and that creates a huge number of problems. You also have the issue that from a business standpoint, Now all of a sudden the security folks have to get involved with things that they never did before. Imagine buying a coffee machine in a bank branch 10 years ago. You didn't call the CISO, you didn't check security policy or security manuals. You bought a coffee machine probably from the petty cash fund. Today, if it's a connected coffee machine, it could create all sorts of security problems. So the CISOs need to be aware of it, or at least have created policies and infrastructure that if people are going to hook it up, they're not hooking it up in a way that's going to create a problem. A fourth concept is the issue of human risks. We've seen in recent years that nearly every major breach begins with some sort of social engineering. Sometimes it's spear phishing, that is sending emails tricking employees into thinking that someone else in the organization asked them to do something. And very often the information that's used to create effective spear phishing emails comes from things that employees shared on social media. So oversharing on social media leads to spear phishing, leads to major breaches and data loss. Big problem. Humans are hard to train, but they need to be trained, and we need to use technology that helps with that process, not just with training, but then in real time can warn people if they may be making a mistake. The fifth area that I wanted to mention is the severe shortage of people in the information security workforce. We need to train more people. There are about, according to some estimates, even over 1 million unfilled information security jobs right now. That's right now, and there's more jobs getting created than there are people filling them. So we have a huge number of unfilled information security jobs, and what that means is even organizations that want to get better at security sometimes can't find the people to help them do it, and that's a big issue as well. You'll see that helping to push some more outsourcing this year, but the reality is that even the outsourcers are having a problem getting enough people to service the needs. More and more parties are becoming aware of information security and the consequences of not establishing proper information security within a business or organization, and we don't have the resources to service everything. Those are the main points I wanted to make today. Please make sure to check out the rest of my articles on the Simply Learn website. You can connect with me on Twitter at Joseph Steinberg. Feel free to send me messages and ask questions, or follow me and you'll see my other articles as they come out. I share lots of information security related stuff, and also check out my own website at josephsteinberg.com. Thank you and have a great day.